So Wesley, how do you do that in a more virtual or digital kind of world now? How do you keep that kind of authenticity or that feeling of connection when you're building community now on a maybe on a global basis or on a regional basis, but still in a very distributed way? How do you sort of keep that authenticity and connection?
Well, yeah, the internet makes things way more complicated because you don't know who's listening. You don't know who's going to come in. And when we talked about community, in the examples before, I've been talking about bringing people together. So when in a virtual realm, it's really need to make it clear that community is a really thick border around people who are inside and together, but also that thick border is also the people who are not in the community who are out. And so you have to make sure that you're very explicit about what's welcome and who is not, or what actions are not welcome. And then you have to make sure that's tied with an expectations of how it's going to be enforced and what are the repercussions for violations, for how long, and what that actually means. So when you're talking about virtual communities, you need to make sure you have a good code of conduct. You need to make sure that you have a good moderation policy. And you also have to make sure that you have some sort of control mechanism, either a forum or a Slack group or whatever, where that you can just say, all right, we're cutting off your access or we're not going to let you through. And then once you have all of that set up from the infrastructure side, then you have to train your community, is a not so elegant way of saying it, but you set an example of the behaviors that you want to see in your community and reward that. And then you also do mild corrections of the behaviors you don't want to see. And so that when you're setting up your social norm, when you're setting up your lingua franca, when you're setting up your etiquette, that is very seen and demonstrated by the people running the community. And as people join, as they observe, then that should be clear on what people are saying or doing in the community to show that if you want to be a part of this group, this is the way that we are showing social capital and how you gain it within the system.